Hello. Welcome back to Chit-Chatting with Kate Carr. This video is going to be for all of my Tell Me Lies gals. If you are up to date with it, we're literally just going to chat and rant about it. It's not going to be a recap. It's not going to be an in-depth. It's going to have spoilers. So if you're not caught up to date with it, then maybe watch this a little bit later or like plug your ears. I don't know. But I appreciate you being here either way. But before we get into all of that, be sure to get comfy, get cozy, grab your favorite beverage. My coffee actually needs to be heated up, so I'll be back. Ding, we got hot coffee. This is my beverage of choice, usually will be. Be sure to let me know what you are sipping on while we chat about the show that is Tell Me Freaking Lies. You're catching me basically how I am every Tuesday morning. I get up early, I get comfy, I grab my coffee, and I sip in just like scaredness and then like just locked in because this show is so freaking good. I hate it and love it so much. I, of course, would love to hear what you guys are talking about, how you guys feel about it. I want this to just be a chit chat because I talk to my friends about it and we literally do voice memos and meet in person and talk about it. It's literally just like, this show is freaking so insane. So be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the YouTube things. So I'll continue creating the content that I enjoy creating, that you enjoy consuming, that YouTube enjoys promoting, so we can continue to grow this gal pal community over here on Chit-Chatting with Kate Carr. So I know that there's obviously a book, but I'm seeing a lot of things where it's like the book is not as good as the show, which I feel like sometimes it's like reversed most of the time. So I don't know, I was back and forth on like maybe I wanted to read the book after this season, but honestly, like either way, the show is just so freaking good. I watched the other seasons like live when they came out like in real time, and then I rewatched season 1 and 2 right before the new season started because, you know, we had to get we had to dip our toes in to get re-manipulated by freaking Stephen and freaking just like all the craziness that happens within this. I freaking love the show so much though. Like I said, it's a love and hate because it's literally just like, what is going on? Obviously there's so many like twists and turns and it's just like, what the hell? So I'm not going to be talking about the first 2 seasons. Maybe if you're interested, I'll do more of like, I do want to also like, on a whole nother note, I do want to start commentary about like just like different movies and shows, and like I talked about it before, like just like Tubi movies and stuff like that. So this is kind of me dipping my toe into that without any like structure necessarily, more just again just kind of chit-chatting about the newest season. So maybe if this video performs well, you guys like the feedback, and like I enjoy like kind of like creating this overall, maybe we'll do more of a deep dive into season 1 and 2. This one is just going to be kind of just like rambling about this newest season. I'm up to date as of whenever I'm posting this, so we're about like I think like 2 or 3 episodes left at this point, which is insane because it's like, how are you going to fit so much into this? And also too, like I don't want it to end, but I also do because I'm like, I need to know what the frick is going on, what is plotted at this wedding. Literally like it's gonna get me heated. I gotta take a sip of my drink. I love the cast. 1, they're all beautiful people. 2, they just like do such a good job with like having like that college feel, I guess, in like the early 2000s. They do good with the music. I love their renditions when they have what's her name, Kat Missile, the girl who plays Brie, and like also the cast too, I'm pretty sure, like when they do like their like kind of like Evanescence, like kind of raspy acoustic type of renditions of like the popular songs. Of course, Mr. Brightside, and then I think they did Drive Me Crazy by Britney Spears too. So just like that subtle like detail is just beautiful, and it just like ties together everything too. It just like so like mysterious and just like you never know, and eerie in such a good and terrible way at the same freaking time. It's like all of these like plots that are twisting and turning, you literally never know what the hell these characters are going to get themselves into. Honestly, the only word I can think of for just this series, and especially just like Steven specifically, is just diabolical. When they were at the emo party, like the emo Valentine's Day party, we're jumping ahead, we're getting all into it. The emo Valentine's Day party, his voice and his tone when he walked in, and Brie, I think it was Brie and Lucy, and they like walked away to go to the bathroom, and he was like, rude. And then he's just like, shut up, shut up. You know what you're doing. You're freaking bringing a freshman. You're a weirdo. And then they played freaking, I also love how they play a drinking game and how Brie was like, we don't do well with or no, it was Pippa. She was like, yeah, we don't do well with drinking games, which like brings back the previous season where they were like, we're all kind of like truthful and they were like started like smacking each other because freaking things just go crazy in this show because this friend group is so terrible yet so freaking good at the same time. For entertainment wise, so freaking good, but also just like so frustrating on every other end too. But so like when they also like played the drinking game again, I think coming from like a foreshadowing, but also like roping together everything that's freaking happening up until this point was genius. And such, again, everything I say about this show is, I say it's good, but it's also so freaking terrible because again, the concept of everything is bad, but it's just such a well done show that I'm like, oh, I love it, but I also hate it, but I also love it, but I also hate it. When they were like, at first, of course, when they started playing, it was like all like nice and cute. Oh, who's the most beautiful girl in the room? We have Evan and Brie. Wrigley's like, who's your most favorite person? And then they hit you, because of course they're not going to keep all like, you know, just like nice tones. That's not staying, because then they hit you with, oh, who hates themselves the most? Lucy. Oh, okay, the girl who's literally going through such a spiral that we can see as viewers, she's just going such downhill, and it's not, they do such a good job too with, yes, Lucy and Stephen were mainly the people who in the previous seasons, like the main pointers of the show and the main people we like spend the most time on. They're doing such a good show with still keeping that, but also like really bringing in the other characters and making them spotlighted as well. But the fact that like we can see Lucy just like spiraling downhill because of everything that it all freaking goes back down to Stephen. It all goes back down to Stephen. Yes, Lucy has done terrible things and she is not excusable in some ways or the other, especially like the way she handles things. It's like even, again, I'm gonna be bouncing all around, so if you are somebody who's like, what is going on, I'm so sorry, but also like I just wanted to make this to literally just like chat about this freaking show because it's so, again, so genius. But back and forth on the latest episode when Pippa's like, you try to make things better but you just make them worse, like the whole thing about like Pippa and Chris, and when Lucy was like in the previous season when she said that Chris did that to her, it's like, you didn't have to say that, you didn't have to make up the whole thing that like, you know, this was done to you. You could have said like you knew somebody. Literally everything could have been so solved with Lucy still protecting her friend and still bringing awareness to like the things that this man did to other people, but also not bringing herself into it and making up that story, because essentially, yeah, she didn't make up the story, which is, again, not great full circle, because then that just shows like, all right, people aren't comfortable with sharing because of people who make up stories about things that happen like that. And if like, I don't know what I can say on YouTube, so like if you know with the whole Chris situation, but it's like, she's so right. It's like Lucy has good intentions and she wants to be a good friend and she wants to be a good person, but everything she does just kind of hurts people and her helping hurts type of thing. So like I do have like kind of anger towards Lucy, but at the end of the day, only this much, because compared to everything, it's all Steven's fault. Everything is Steven, just like, so of course it's like, oh, back to the game when they're like, oh, who hates himself the most? And it's like Lucy, and it's like, oh yeah, they think it's fun and games, but it's like, no, she is freaking hurting. How are you guys not seeing this? Lucy does try to be a really good friend, and you know, she does have people that are there to support her, but she's done all these things that are so bottled up and she's literally feeling so freaking numb. And I think that Grace Van Patten does such a good role with just embodying like what this like with this college girl and just like this girl is feeling. Like her character is just so good and she's such a good actress. I just freaking love her. And she's so hot too, of course, besides that. Like I said, everybody in this cast is just hot. Everybody's beautiful in this cast. But it's like all of these breadcrumbs with the curling iron and I think it was the beginning of the season, right? When Pippa was like, oh, you know, we didn't think you'd make it through it. So it's like, I love when a story tells so well with going back and forth in timelines and just like literally full pieces everything together, which is why I'm like, I want this show to end because I want everything to be like out there, but I also don't want it to end because I love having the routine of watching the show on Tuesday mornings and having something to watch. But then it's also like, I need to know everything that's happening right now. So it's like week by week is literally just like killer, but it's also like they do, again, such a good job with intertwining everything from the different time periods bouncing back and forth. It's like Lucy's done some terrible things, but again, back to friggin' Stephen, and it's all Stephen's fault. I literally like audibly said like, oh my god, when they brought up like who hates themselves the most. I'm like, again, you don't see what she's literally like, she's not a person right now. Like, how are you guys not seeing this? One, and two, obviously as the viewer, we know that she feels like she's not a person. We know that she feels terrible about herself. We know that she's so down on herself. So the fact of them layering that freaking thing on this game is like, okay, great. And then when they pass the other question to about Wrigley, and it's like, oh, who's most likely to like off themselves? It's like, oh my god, why would that be a thing, especially in this freaking group? Who wrote that question down? And it's like, obviously Wrigley is not fully exposing like what he tells like Pippa and stuff, and obviously he went through so much with his brother, and I just really truly feel for Wrigley and Bree. I'm not here for cheating, but I was rooting for them to finally freaking kiss. I mean, that just helps everything full circle. I mean, we could see in the future at the wedding, like obviously like Pippa and Diana are together, so it's like, all right, Wrigley, I honestly wasn't seeing that happening, like when Wrigley was like dancing with Pippa and was like, oh, like, you know, I'm here to pretend like it was you that I really loved, or whatever he said, and he's just eyeballing Bree, and they're eyeballing each other, and it's like, okay, everything's making full sense because they were meant to be. I am here for the full support of Wrigley and Bree, and when they weren't kissing, I literally was like, come on already, just kiss already, literally just kiss, which again, I think the production did so well because they know what their audience wants. They know that we were rooting for them to, like, you know, terrible to say, but root for them to cheat, because it's like they feel each other. I mean, Bree's literally confiding in Wrigley for all these things, and even he says like, why am I the one you're saying these things to? Why was I the one to drive you to your mom's? Even though he obviously, like, you know, volunteered, but like, why are you telling me these deep things? Go tell Evan you're with Evan. And I also feel bad for Evan too, because he's just like, oh, I thought we were like, you know, we're back together, I'm willing to like give you my all, but you're like hiding things from me, like hiding your feelings, like I'm your boyfriend, like I'm the person meant to be there for you no matter what. So like she is hiding back and forth, and of course like Bree has so much going on too, and I know I really hope her mom shows up, even though I know also she's definitely not, like, she's going to flake. Also, side note, they did such a good job with casting Bree's mom. Like, I literally had to like Google, I was like, who is this woman? Like, is this Bree's actual like sister or mom or something like that? Because they did such a good job with, like, I feel like they look so much alike. Like, instantly I was Googling, I was like, who is this woman? One, not much came up for her, so I was like, okay, who are you? But also it's like, everything, because everything that Bree's gone through, it's just like, you know, she wants that motherly like that mother figure, and she's getting her hopes up, which is such a shame because like we know it. But also too, on the other end, it's like these producers know that we know that, so are they going to actually like make it full circle for Bree and actually have her come, like, you know, actually have her come to her art exhibit and support Bree after all these years, because now she's doing better in life and she's not even like reaching out to her daughter, which that whole scene pissed me off because she's like, well, like, you left me at like 15, like, you didn't call, so like, I didn't know. It's like, that's your freaking kid, you're the adult, like, what are you talking about? So that's besides the point, but it's like, I am not team Bree's mom, you know, I'm team Bree being happy, and that relationship would obviously make her happy. And clearly, again, she needs a mother figure, because when she went to Oliver's house looking for him, that's a whole, oh my gosh, this freaking show sends you through so many loops, because now Oliver's sleeping with this freaking 17-year-old that Bree's trying to bring to justice, and it'd be like, yo, she's 17, you're freaking with people's minds in general, you messed me up, you're allowing your husband to do this, you're like known, this is known, you guys are getting off on this weird thing. But then she goes to Oliver's house and then she cries in Marianne's like arms, so it's like, Bree just needs that mother figure, and it's so sad because it's like, oh my god, Bree deserves it. Poor Bree, I love Bree. So it's just like, I really hope her mom shows up for her, but I know she's not going to, and it's also going to be beneficial if Bree just cuts her off completely, but it's like, Bree wants her there. I mean, it's her freaking mom, and her mom's alive, so it's like, why not have the relationship, especially if the mom's like, yeah, like, I took off work, whatever. So it's like, ugh. And it made me so sad when she was like her and Wrigley were in their room and they were going through the pictures, and she's like, am I too needy? Like, tell me the truth. Like, do people see me this way? Have I not like realized it on the outside? Which is so like good in a way of her being self-aware, but it's also so sad because it's like, oh, like, now I'm like on a spiral because now Oliver told me I'm freaking needy, and now I'm like, oh, I guess I am needy. Like, are people seeing me this way? Have I never saw myself like that too? So it's like, I'm glad also Wrigley was like, no, Evan has always talked nice about you and like will literally do anything for you. So it's like, Wrigley's so sweet. Poor Wrigley. Yeah, literally, like, obviously they're writing it for us to be like Team Wrigley and Bree, but it's also like they really deserve it. They're so because he's like, I feel so bad for both of them. They went through so much. They're going through so much. And also, too, we need to learn what Bree went through. Again, I know I'm all over the place, but this is literally, like I said, I don't need to keep justifying myself, but I just want to clarify again. If you're confused, probably are not up to date with the show because all these should make sense even though I'm going all over the place. But again, I wanted to just be a freaking rant and a vent about this show that's so good but so bad and so terrible. Oh my god. Because what happened to her in the foster care? Why? Like, we need to go full circle with Alex. Like, the last season or the last episode where like Alex was literally also like, I'm not a bad person, and started crying. It's like you can tell again genuinely like he like wants to care for Lucy or just like care for people in general, or what was he like maybe accused of, or what happened in the foster system for him to where he thinks like, I swear I'm not a bad person, like I'm not a bad person, and then they do their thing. But it's like, where does he come back into play? Because obviously he's not there for the future because Lucy's with Max, which a whole other story. It's like the fact that Lucy still 10 years later was under Stephen's spell is literally just like what keeps me in a chokehold, because it's literally just like, why, Lucy, why? Like, you literally came there with Max and you literally texted Stephen to literally come down and watch, and it's like, what the hell, what is wrong with you, Lucy? And then the fact that like poor Max, he's just always been like, okay, like cool, like let's I'm a good guy. Even though, again, like Lucy went up to him and was like, I'm so sorry, like you are a good guy. I wanted to let you know, like I'm a terrible person. And again, with Lucy feeling like she's a terrible person, it all goes back to freaking Stephen, because all of her actions just go back to Stephen. Even though, of course, she did them, but it's also like, it's because of Stephen, because she's so in her head, and it's so crazy, it's so good, it's so good. I love this show so much. And even though I feel like the last, like, not necessarily the latest episode, but maybe like the 2 episodes before were like a little slower, I know there's a reason for it. They're building the story. The whole like, this new girl, which I feel so bad for, I forget her name, but the freshman that Steven's going after now, like I hope they get her out before it's too late, before another girl is under Steven's freaking spell of whatever the frick sorts. It's like, there's so much content on this show where it's just like this man is so diabolical. Everything is just so like, even though he doesn't like pre-plan things, it's just in the moment, he's just so evil that everything is planned. Like the beginning of the season when like Evan let him stay at his place, and he's like, oh, I was about to like wash some dishes, and he's like, oh no man, it's cool, I got it. And then he leaves him freaking like a crap ton of dishes. Like, he knew what he was doing, he did that on purpose. Or the whole freaking taping thing. Why would Lucy do that? Why would you let him have that ammo on you? Again, I know is obviously for the plot, and that's besides the point, but it's like, that whole scene literally had my stomach in such a knot. The way that he talks, again, I know this is like a common thing, but it's like, you can't unsee Stephen. Jackson Wade could be the kindest, best person, and clearly him and Grace Van Patten are in such a cute relationship, like off screen, but it's like, you can't help but see like, your acting's a little too good. You're freaking me out. It's like, it's so good. And like, the fact that like this show can make you feel such like physical things just shows that it's a good show to me. I feel like the whole taping situation when he was like, no, say you want it for attention. Oh my god, the amount of times I like scream at my freaking screen is insane, because it's like, this show is so diabolical. The only word I can think of is diabolical. Every plot loop, every turn, like every detail is so like well thought out. Even if things seem distant, like kind of like Bree and Oliver, like it kind of seems a little distant, but still like front facing in this season with the whole Amanda thing, and like everything's just gonna come together so perfectly. And I know it perfect in a terrible way, and it's just like, I'm just needing this last episode to get like just the full circle of it all. I'm assuming this is the last season, I'm not completely sure, but everything, just all the details are insane. Like, and then of course seeing like the theories online, it's like, oh my god, everything makes sense. But it's like, am I making it make sense because I want it to make sense, or like, what is it? Like the whole like fact that when they fast forward to the wedding and Wrigley leaves his unpassword phone freaking available for Steven to be right there, it's like, what do they have plotting up? They have to have something plotted up. They're smarter than Stephen. They can be smarter than Stephen. They can be smarter than Stephen. They are smarter than Stephen. We will not let Stephen win because he is diabolical. The whole thing he did with Diana's photos and sending it to her parents, which, again, side note, why is her mom so mad at her? It's like, why not, like, see if your daughter's okay? One, that's besides the point. The dad's like, no, I'm just angry. I don't want to talk to her. It's like, that's terrible. That's again, diabolical. Or when Stephen found out that Diana was pregnant, and he's like, well, that's good, we can get on like good terms with your dad, and again, it's all beneficial to him. So like Diana's like, do you think we're having this baby so you can get on good terms with my dad so you can get a referral to go to Yale or whatever the freak you want to go to? No, get out of here. And then she's like scared of him still at the same time. So that just shows how like manipulative and freaking evil this man is, and also how good this freaking show is. I know I said it a million times, but it's so good because everything has a purpose. Sometimes shows just kind of go in like loops, and it's like, okay, especially after like the first 2 seasons being good, it's like, it's very easy to make a season not be good, but like every single episode I am hooked. Every single plot hole I am like, oh my gosh. Every single day this show comes out, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm literally like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I just talk out loud because this show is just literally has me in such a chaotic mindset of being like, this hour is about to be a freaking roller coaster. I didn't check how long the last 2 or 3 episodes were, but I hope they're a little bit longer. I don't know. I'm just like, again, back to the book. I wanted to read the book because I'm like, this show's so good, but again, a lot of people are saying that the book was not as good as the series is. So if you read the book, let me know your thoughts, because I don't know. I love a good connection where like there's a book and a series, or a book and a movie. So maybe I'll just read it for the hell of it, or maybe if there's an audiobook or something. But I'm just like so scared for Lucy overall, like just her like decline, like her disassociation in the last episode where she literally just is at freaking Stevens, and she's like, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? What the hell? Why did I just automatically like, you know, like autopilot go here and try to get into this room? And then she said to Diana, like, I'm not even drunk right now. Like, that's not even besides the point. I just don't feel like I'm here. Like, that's so sad. And like, you can just see it in her eyes. And again, back to Grace Van Patten just being a good actress. Like, she just embodies it so well. So overall, I don't know how long this video is already, but I feel like I need to stop rambling because the show is just so freaking good. There's so many things I missed, of course, but I just wanted to get on here and just kind of free flow and just talk about the show and how much I love it but hate it at the same time. So if you were on the same train of freaking tell me lies, of this freaking up and down and so many left and rights and ups and downs and all around, and just being like, oh my god, each character is so freaking crazy. This whole thing is crazy, but it's so good at the same time. I love it. It's like obviously like a college-based show, but it's also not like the typical like One Tree Hill of it all, or like, I don't know, like that type of error. It's like they did it so more diabolical than, like, again, it just leaves me speechless, and the only word I can think of is diabolical. So if you also think this show is diabolical, let me know in the comments below. And as always, I appreciate you so much for tuning in, listening to me literally yap for however long this was on this freaking show. And again, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, share your thoughts on this show below. Please share your thoughts. Please let me know what your thoughts are, your predictions, what you think. How are you waiting to just like literally just explode like me? Like, what are they up to? There's like, the rating's so good in this. Megan Oppenheimer has us in store. I feel like because the last couple episodes are a little bit quote unquote like slower, I guess, that we're just about to be like hit left and right, like bang, bang, bang. I guess 3, if there's only 3 episodes left, or 2 episodes left. Either way, let me know your thoughts. And as always, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!